why we were doing female genital mutilation. When we grew up, we asked our elders, the opinion leaders in our community, the Sabine community, and predominantly the Kalenjin community, why our mothers, our sisters were circumcised. Now, the reason they gave us is that our forefathers, the ancestors of the Sabine community, and predominantly the Kalenjin community, are pastoralists in nature. These are people who move from one place to another. They move from one region to another looking for pasture and water for their animals. So they circumcised because they wanted to reduce the sexual urge of our mothers and sisters, that when they are far away from home, our mothers and sisters can be calm and they can stay at home without having any sexual act. And when they come back, they find their wives, they find their daughters okay, that no man or any other person has disturbed our mothers or sisters.
Mhm.
So in doing so, in circumcising our mothers and sisters, they reduce the sexual libido.
What's that sexual libido? What is sexual libido?
So sexual libido is the urge, the sexual urge that comes with having certain feelings to have sex.
Okay.
So when parts of the female organs, the female reproductive organs, are cut off or are removed, then they reduce the sexual libido of a woman.
Okay.
So our forefathers were doing this, removing the clitoris to reduce the sexual urge or sexual feelings of our sisters and mothers.
Uh, is it true that female genital mutilation was and is still a gateway to marriage? Is it true?
So initially, uh, if you are not circumcised, you wouldn't get married. Our mothers, our sisters would not get married if you are not circumcised. But at the moment, our sisters are getting married because the government has come in to stop the vice of female genital mutilation because it came with a lot of disadvantages. Our mothers were falling sick. Our sisters were falling sick after the circumcision because the surgeons were using one knife to cut about 30 women. And so diseases were being transferred from one individual to another. So when the government came in to stop the female genital mutilation, some of these diseases no longer happen among our sisters and mothers.
Apart from reducing sexual urge and maybe being a gateway to marriage to those girls, is there any other advantage that FGM had or still has?
So yes, FGM had another big advantage to our sisters and mothers who would undergo it. One is that our mothers or sisters who would wish or were being forced to undergo female genital mutilation would be rewarded heavily by the elders, the community elders, the Sabine elders. Person who undergoes female genital mutilation would be given about 6 cows, would be given about 5 goats, and a number of hens as a reward for undergoing through female genital mutilation. So it's that same reason as to why we are asking government that if we have stopped this female genital mutilation, can we now bring in some incentives for our girls in Sebei sub-region, so that they do not think about those rewards and they can now focus on these incentives that the government can bring for them and
Okay.
start a living.
Some, of course, some elders, uh, this is bad. The government cannot support this, cannot stop. In fact, they're saying the government should not stop female genital mutilation because it has its own advantages. And but political leaders are supporting it, are supporting the ban. Uh, are they doing it? Are political leaders supporting the ban because it is bad, because the activity is bad? Then what about the elders? And you, as an activist from Sebei sub-region, what's your take? What's your perspective on this?
So my perspective on the tension between the elders, the political leaders, and the government is that yes, the elders had a reason, and probably some of them still have a reason as to why they conducted female genital mutilation, or they are still doing the FGM. The government, on the other hand, through the support of the non-governmental organizations, have been saying that we need to stop this vice because it's coming with a lot of uh, problems to our community. One of it being the sicknesses that come, the stigma that comes with female genital mutilation. So why we are saying so is that the government, as it stops the female genital mutilation.
Can you briefly talk about the sicknesses? Does it bring about diseases
Yes,
and
yes,
all
it
that?
brings about diseases like fistula. We've had women who have died in our community of diseases like fistula because they contracted these diseases from the cat, the, the, the female genital mutilation.
Okay.
Yes, HIV was one of them because a knife would be used for different women in a line. So HIV was transferred from one woman to another. So a number of diseases were spread. And then also the mental problem. We've had women who are suffering from mental problems in our community. They have run mad because this female genital mutilation affected their well-being, the mental health of these women.
What's
Now,
your last message to the people of
so
Sebei
my message to the people of Sebei is this.
who do support FGM, of course?
Yes, those who are still supporting FGM for a number of reasons, one of them being uh, they, they are still like women who still want to go for it to get rewards from the community, like the cows and the goats that come with undergoing FGM. We are asking them that this FGM has more disadvantages than advantages. And in as far as issues related to rewards is concerned, as activists, we are pushing the government to do more in our community in terms of coming up with more incentives to these women, to the girls. We want government to open more vocational institutions in Sebei sub-region where our girls can go and study hands-on skills and can run their own businesses and survive, especially in Buko district where it's becoming a limelight to the whole country and the whole world.
Eliud, many thanks for sparing your time to talk to me.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I
Thank you.
appreciate.
You're welcome.
All right.